And we're back. It's Racing Dudes Live. Magic and Aaron here joining you for the late pick 3 at Fairgrounds, the 12th, 13th, and 14th races. I hope you're still awake because we got the most exciting races of the day still to go. Aaron Halterman, how are you doing, sir?
I'm awake and I'm excited and I'm alive. And so that's the good news. I was kind of talking with some people in the chat. I know Bree is alive to this as well, this pick 5. Rockets are alive. So that kind of gives you a little extra oomph going in these last 3 races. That it's the best 3 races on the card, and that's good too.
Yeah, well, it might have been a rough day early on, but what matters is you just got to close it out strong here. The Silverbulletday starting us off, and a race that traditionally, Aaron, the Fairgrounds circuit has produced very strong fillies for the Kentucky Oaks. Monomoy Girl always comes to mind when I think of this circuit, but I don't know if we have a Monomoy Girl in this field. What did you think about the Silverbulletday?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, right? I mean, you do have a horse like Chop Chop, who a lot of people thought would win at the Breeders' Cup, didn't. Obviously, was really bad. Can she kind of rebound here? I think she's the only one where you can go, okay, maybe she can like be one of those top horses. I really don't think she's going to be though. I think this is kind of a wide open mix, kind of like last year. Remember last year, this circuit was not great, and I kind of feel it the same this year. Who knows? We may get surprised and Chop Chop run big. I used both the Cox horses, but I took a flyer with the number 6 Amber Cascade, who's a big price right now on the board. I just felt like it was one of those races where we might see a big upset.
The way the day's been going for me, which is not great, betting wise, I have the 2 Cox horses here, the Alley's Look and Chop Chop. So you're probably right. It is probably going to be Amber Cascade that gets the job done. No, something that got brought up by some people, including when Mike and I cover this on the Magic Mike show. Amber Cascade was entered for a $50,000 tag and didn't even win that race. She did come back to win, stretching back out, but were you worried at all when you see that she was risked for 50K? Nobody wanted to touch her, and now she's in a stakes race?
Not really. No, she won last time out, and that was the big thing for me. And she won at this distance and over this track. And so I was just like, you know what? We'll take a little swing with this horse and see. Sherry DeVoe, a trainer we love and usually has her horses ready to run. She knows where to spot them. She doesn't just throw horses in races for no reason. She had a big win on the card a little bit earlier in a maiden special weight. I believe that was race 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know. They ran so many special weights. But
It was 3.
was it okay? But anyway, she had a good horse there. So no, it didn't really bother me. I get why maybe it would for some people, but I don't worry about shit like that. I just kind of watch the races, be like, hey, that's a good enough race, I think, to compete here. They all looked pretty similar as far as the speed figures that I look at time form. Her race is similar to what we've seen. So again, if it's not the 2 Cox horses, I'll take my chances with the 6. But listen, you said you use the 2 Cox horses. They're the logical horses to use. And really, if the 5 kind of lives up to that, that billing that we had going into the Breeders' Cup, she should be better than the rest of this field.
Well, and that's the thing is with Chop Chop, her two dudes. Wow, I can't speak. Margarita's hit me already. The 2 dirt starts that she had, she's come from very far off, and we've seen horses come from a little bit off the pace on this dirt, especially going 2 turns. Coming from 6, 8 lengths back, 7, 8 lengths back, like she was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. I don't think she can get the job done from that position. But her first 2 starts were on turf, and she was close up, and she won both of those. So she has that going for her. The big reason I like the Alley's Look is that she is tactical. She can sit closer to the pace. The one time she did get the maiden broken was going gate to wire, and the way things are set up here pace-wise, she's not going to be able to, I don't think she's going to be able to go gate to wire. The 1's going to have speed. The 3's going to have speed. You could see Amber Cascade with some forward placing here as well. So who do you think has the lead going into the first turn?
Oh, it's a tough question, especially over this track today. It's kind of been a little bit of everywhere. I think the 3 gets the lead early. I really think the 3 gets out to front. I did not use the 3 in the pick 5 because of budget constraints. Watching Florent Giroux on Tappett's Conquest, I don't have a lot of confidence in him either. That was not ideal in the 9th race. So I don't know what kind of trip we're going to get out of Chop Chop, and I'm pretty confident the 3 is going to get out in front.
Yeah, the way the track's been playing right now, or today, to me, the 3 is definitely presenting some value. Chop Chop right now is the odds on the screen there, just the morning line. Right now, 3-5 on Chop Chop. 8-5 I thought was, that's a little close to unplayable. 3-5, man, I don't know how you can really, how can you play her with any confidence the way that the track's been going here? It's not a good look. You like the 6. What about the 7, Forest Chime? She's actually on the screen right now for the simulcast. I know Joe Christophex got her as the top pick. Dr. Miranda really liked the 7 as well. Trainer Jason Barkley. Only one win, and it came 3 weeks ago, but it was very impressive how she got the job done.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Jason Barkley usually, he's had some allowance horses. He gets a stakes horse every once in a while, but mostly you're going to see him in claiming races. That's the type of horses that he has. But it's nice to see Barkley here with this horse. One race, and it all went really, really well. So I'm shocked the horse is 7-2. I think that's a lot of money thrown that way that I didn't expect. But one that, I thought about for a while, and I just, at the end of the day, I don't know, second race going up against this kind of horse, or these kind of horses, I should say. I think it's going to be tough for her. But you got to test him at some point. Jason Barkley got to be excited. He might have a Kentucky Oaks prospect. He's going to give him a shot. I see Jason on the simulcast screen now. He looks pretty relaxed. So we'll see if he can pick up this big win. This would be a huge win, probably the biggest of his career. You're muted.
I'm muted, sorry. To Corey Lannery hoping for a slightly less eventful ride than he had with Tappet Shoes, Tappet Ice Skates, or whatever, roller skates, whatever that horse's name. I don't think that horse ran straight. He wasn't winning, but it's hard to win anyways when you just zigzag the entire way of the stretch and you can't keep your lead straightened out there.
Yeah.
But Lannery was aboard as well for Forest Chimes' win. Forest Chimes looking pretty relaxed, not like a one-start maiden filly who's now facing some winners. She doesn't seem that intimidated by the Cox horses either, Aaron.
No, and it's interesting what's going to happen here. I don't know. Like you talked about that ride, or not really the ride, but just the trip and how Tappet Shoes just looked strange, for lack of a better word. And you've kind of seen that all day, especially on the turf, which is a kind of a joke, right? They've looked bad, but I've seen a lot of horses really, really struggle over this track today. Even Tappet's Conquest, who was not quite as green as Tappet Shoes, boy, he just seemed to kind of struggle through a lot of that race. Even the winner determinedly just kind of fighting the track a little bit. I'm wondering if it's kind of a deeper, heavier track. And I'm wondering if that doesn't favor horses that have a few starts under their belts. That's kind of my speculation.
Going to have that foundation in place.
Yep.
The horse that has the most starts is the number 2 Cotton Candy Annie, already making her 9th start. It's rare that you see a horse, get claimed for $50,000, run back protected in a pretty good allowance field at Churchill Downs, and then still get the job done. The odds that she's had, her last 2 starts for trainer Armando Hernandez, who claimed her, holding it about 25-1, 22-1 is what she was off last time. The Untappable Stakes, she was nowhere to be seen, but the 2 previous races she got a win. So which version of Cotton Candy Annie are we going to see today, Aaron?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't like what we saw last time out over this track here. It just kind of got blown out, but the allowance win was awfully nice. I didn't have a lot of interest in this horse. I think she just has gotten a little bit too far behind in her last couple starts. She got a great pace to run into. 2 back, was able to get it done. Last time just kind of went backwards. I didn't have a lot of confidence in this horse, and neither do the bettors. I guess 27-1 now on the shot. So, longest shot on the board. I just couldn't get there with this one.
The top pick for me, and now she's on the screen there, the 4, the Alley's Look, and not just because I thought that she would, I like the fact that she has been improving her buyers, ever since she stretched out to 2 turns. If you look at who she ran into last time, the Untappable Stakes after that maiden win, Pretty Mischievous is 3 for 4, and the only time she's lost was to Hoosier Philly, who is I think still is the early Kentucky Oaks favorite, and we'll see her coming up in the Rachel Alexandra, possibly whatever the next leg is of the Oaks Trail here at Fairgrounds. So if Pretty Mischievous is in here, I think she's probably more heavily favored than even the 5-horse Chop Chop. So I like the Alley's Look. It's a question of what kind of a trip will she get, and can she win without being on the lead. Because as we said at the start of this, neither of us thinks that she's going to be up on the front of the pace.
When you look at how she broke, where she settled in that last race at Fairgrounds that you mentioned, it's like she still ran pretty well despite being in a situation where she's not comfortable, right? So, I mean, I think that was a good sign. We got to get a better trip this time. I don't know. Luis Saez getting aboard. He may just try to sit and try to get her as forwardly placed as possible without spending her all of her energy right off the bat. I kind of like this horse too. I almost favor this horse over Chop Chop in this spot because of what you said. Tactical speed, kind of trust the rider is going to go out there and get a little bit better trip than we got last time out. I just kind of feel like sometimes with Giroux, if they don't break real well, there isn't any kind of middling or positioning. It's just, well, we'll go to the back, you know? And I kind of, you rewatch that race, it's like, yeah, it's kind of what she did last time out. You know, I really liked Vava last time out in that race. The Alley's Look was able to outkick her clearly. You know, she was well clear of everybody else. It would be great for me, and I would smile very big if she gets a great trip and kind of wins in the spot. That would be fine.
By the way, we're talking about Determinedly won earlier. Luis Saez was aboard, and I thought that Saez throughout the day has kind of learned this dirt track's playing a little quirky, and he put Determinedly in front, hoping for my sake with the Alley's Look that happens in here. But let's take a look back through the chat, see what you guys are. By the way, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Remember, Racing Dudes Live, we're bringing it back. We took some time off for the holidays after the Breeders' Cup, but we're going to be back for the Pegasus, which is next week. We got Pegasus World Cup Turf, and the World Cup Filly and Mare Turf, among everything else. So kind of knocking the rust off here. You know, apologize for starting late. I forgot to change the time because things got a little screwy with the races at Fairgrounds getting pushed there. Shadi in the chat, she's a big fan of Amber Cascade. Big surprise there. I wonder why Shadi likes Amber Cascade. Nick Feldman has got Chop Chop singled here. Oh boy. How you feeling, Nick? Tell us in the chat the way that the track has been going here. He said, well, here we go. He says, no chance Flo has Chop Chop way off the pace. She'll be in the catbird seat. If she gets that trip, I think she wins, but that is a big if because she hasn't done that in 2 dirt starts. And Flo, as you mentioned, Aaron, didn't do that with Tappett's Conquest earlier when he was on a big favorite. So yeah, a little scary to see that.
It'll be interesting to see how this goes, Nick, because we're both alive. I've got a little more coverage than you do here, but top pick is the 8 Zozos in the next race. So I like that. Chop Chop is not my top pick, but do have that horse on the ticket. You're single in the last. I do not have on my ticket, and I went 4 deep in that spot. So that race will be very interesting. I hope we're both 4 for 4. We can have a lot of fun in that last race going against each other. That's what makes these fun. But we got a long way to go. We got to get there first. So and I know how this goes. I've done this enough. Don't even think about that last leg when you're on the third leg.
Bree hoping Saya sends along with me and Ed Burke. We must have had a Darby sighting in the background there. Aaron, Ed Burke said, "Here, kitty, running around behind you."
Darby. Was Darby around?
I wasn't looking. I saw the comment though. Chris Mallow is trying to sear Tomahawk Stakes right now while watching us. Now that is dedication. That is a true fan of the Racing Dudes right there. High heat, open flame, 3 to 4 minutes aside, and then turn it down to low heat and let it cook that way. That's my recommendation for Tomahawk Stakes.
Oh man, look at you! You're just a man of the peoples. I love it.
For people of the man. I might not know as much about sports betting and horse racing as you, but I do know my way around a grill pretty well. So,
boy, if you're sports betting right now, you got a really interesting development with the Chiefs and the Jaguars with Mahomes out there limping around. This is getting pretty wild there too.
Is he back out there? I just have the box score pulled up.
He is back out into the game, but he does not look right at all. We'll see if Henney comes back in. It's still 17-10 Chiefs though, so. They've still got the lead and their defense is playing well, but the offense is definitely bogged down since the injury.
If you missed it, Dudes Who Bet Daily this morning, the best bets. We had 2 best bets out of this game. Mike Somich's cashed before the first half was even over. He liked Isaiah Pacheco over, I think it was only 50 something. It was less than 60 yards. Yep. And he's at 84 right now. Jacksonville doesn't seem to have really much of an answer for him. And then I said Travis Kelce over 79.5 yards, and he was at 61 at halftime. With 2 touchdowns. They were really small balling their way up to that one. So I'll keep an eye on Kelsey's yardage here, hoping that he's got 2 touchdowns, but that's not any part of my bet, so it doesn't work out.
If he doesn't go over that number, they're going to lose. I'll say that. I think he will go over it because they're going to have to make some plays. I mean, it's going to be tough here. Jags are driving, sort of. They're still deep in their own end, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. We got Santa Anita going off. Did you handicap Santa Anita, Magic?
I did not. No, it's I was too focused on all the fun at Fairgrounds and their green painted turf track with the rail out 69 feet or whatever it was.
Well, let's be clear. I am glad we don't have any more turf races left on this sequence because those were not fun. I mean, I get that you want to keep racing on the turf. Everybody likes turf racing, but if it's a track that you really shouldn't be running over, just take them off. I mean, that was rough to watch. That was like mud. They were just running over like mud and like a patch of green grass here and there. Reminded me of like a golf course that hadn't been tended to in like 6 years,
It looked bad. It looked like you sometimes call Kentucky Downs a goat field. That looked like a legitimate goat field Fairgrounds. Like they literally just like all the barn goats had been out there overnight and just had themselves a buffet and a half. Let's talk about this real quick. Santa Anita got the Astra Stakes going off. This is a tricky race. I'm curious to hear it's going off, so we can't talk about betting wise necessarily. But how did you handicap a 1.5-mile race when there isn't anyone that obviously there's no pace in these races anyways? Nobody even ever wants the lead usually in these races, and you got a 5-horse as your favorite at 8-5, and all she's ever done is run in Chile, and I've tried for half an hour. You cannot find a single replay of hers anywhere on the internet.
Yeah, I'm a shoddy though. I went for the 3 here at Santa Anita, and I just kind of tried to play. I didn't worry about pace, in this one because you're right. It is kind of weird. And I just kind of thought I'm just going to try to play the 4 horses I think have shown the most talent and try to get through it. I went 2, 3, 5, and 7 in here. I did play that 5 horse, but yeah, I'm with you. Like what is that horse really? I don't really know. You don't think of Santa Anita and think of long turf races either. Even their turf races, the limited ones they have, they're 6.5, 5, or a mile most of the time. So right. It's odd. I do like the 3. I thought the 3, had shown some really good races. The 2's out in front right now, so that's good, setting a pretty slow pace.
Big surprise there. If the 3 is ridden by Juan Hernandez, and if I had told you before the season started, before the meet started on December 26th, that 3 weeks into the meet, the leading rider will have a 3 times win lead on second place, you probably would have thought it'd be Flavien Prat, maybe John Velasquez because he gets a lot of the Baffert horses. No, it's Juan Hernandez. He's just beating everybody up everywhere he can. He's on your 3, and he's got her in a really good position as they make the way down the backstretch here.
Yeah, and you mentioned Flavien Prat. He's burned a lot of money at Santa Anita right now. I mean, it has not been a good meet for Flavien at all. Now, he will come back. Trust me on that. But, yeah, it hasn't been good. So the 2, the 5, the 3, I mean, all my horses are up here in contention right now. They've got one coming from the back. Looks like the 8. That's
3 is going to go right on by here. Watch this.
The 3 looks like it's ready to romp.
Yeah. But Flavien Prat, by the way, you mentioned, also has the most mounts of any jockey coming into today. Like, it's not just he hasn't been getting rides. He's literally ridden more than anyone else. You're 3. Well, watch out for Duvet. Watch out for the 4. 4 got it. Wow. What a turn of foot from the 4 there. Duvet. Kazushi Kimura just got his first win at Santa Anita, top Woodbine rider. Just got his first Santa Anita win last week, I believe, and now he gets his second one only in stakes. So if you're going to play Kimura at Santa Anita, only do it in a stakes race. That's what we've learned here.
I like it. Yeah. Well, I got news for everybody. That just knocked me out of the late pick 5 at Santa Anita. So what that means is I'm not turning it back over there today.
Hey,
we're back at
Fairgrounds. I didn't want to talk about it in the first place. This is your fault, right?
I know. It is my fault. Yeah, we're back at Fairgrounds. We're 0 minutes to post. Chop Chop's now 1-2. So we shall see here. Man, that's a lot of money for this horse.
Allie's look at 5-1. That's going to take my money here. Hey, let's do real quick. Mike Somich likes to do this. Let's do a quick pick 3. We'll each take 2 horses for the 3 legs here. I'll take Allie's look. Who do you want to go with?
Well,
Amber Cascade's 20-1.
The 6 is my top choice. Go ahead, give me the 6.
All right. The Louisiana Stakes next up. That you want Zozos there?
Yep.
I'll take the other Cox, Forza Dioro. I think that Brad Cox hasn't been winning like we thought he would so far today. I think these legs are going to change it. And then the big one, the Lecomte Stakes. Are you going with instant coffee?
Yep.
My top pick was confidence game. Keith DeSormo likes to pop a big one in these races or on these big days at Fairgrounds. I'm a little worried that he popped it a little too early. He had the winner of the 10th race.
Yeah,
Single ruler, which by the way kicked off the pick 5 and you had on the ticket.
Yeah, he won the 10th and the 11th, so he's won both legs of this so far. Right. And listen, if I'm alive and he wins that last leg, he might be my new favorite trainer of all
time. All right, starting to send them in here. Let us know in the chat. What are you thinking for the Chris? First side of steering didn't go well. I mean, listen, stop trying to cook and watch us because we're just going to distract you here.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave wants the 6-horse into the Trier Super. I think that's definitely possible here.
Yeah. What I would do with that ticket we just gave out, just add this 5 in, and your 3 by 2 by 2. Go 4, 5, 6 with 7, 8 with 4, 7. That's the pick 3. Because you got enough prices where you can put the favorite in the slate. You're still okay.
That's if you pay the 50-cent base, that's it's only a $6 ticket. So there we go. I just punched it in. We'll see. I haven't had a winning bet all day, so I think I just sunk it by putting the bet in.
Well, you probably just sunk my pick 5 then. Thanks.
Boy. Well, let's see here. You already got too lucky by having a pair of DeSormo winners to start a pick 5. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, and that's just it. And now you're thinking it's kind of like what you just said. Cox hasn't done much on this, and it's like, give me 3 Cox winners now. That'd be okay with me. Give me the Alley's Look, Zozos, and Instant Coffee. I'll take it right now with that big winner or the long shot in the first race. That's going to pay just fine. So, but we know how this goes. Here we go.
All right, loading them into the gate. Remember, this is a Kentucky Oaks prep race. 20 points to the winner. Not sure that we'll come back to this after the race, but not so sure the Kentucky Oaks winner is going to be in this field. But we'll see what they do. Chop 1-2. That's predicted at 6-5, and she's not even close to even money. Forest Chimes 7-2. Alley's Look 5-1. Hey, you never know 13-1. Nora G, we'd even talk about her 17-1. She's a Louisiana bred. That is a neck away from being undefeated, trying to stretch out for the first time. Look for a lot of speed with Deshaun Parker aboard from the rail. They're in and they're off. Well, Chop is not going to be last. That's for sure. She might be 6 wide, but she's not going to be last.
Well, I don't think she was too wide. That's actually a really good spot. I think the 3 goes out in front like we thought. I thought the 6 would be where the 4 is, but that's fine. The 4 sitting a really good trip. Listen, Chop sitting a beautiful trip. No excuse from here.
Alley's Look pounded as they took off. She is 2-1.
I think it's just people were looking at that and it's like, look, Chop, there's no way this horse should be 1-2. Let's bet the other Cox in this situation, So I think that's what happened. Listen, all the horses that we used here right up there. So just going to see who finishes best. Chop has no excuse. If she kicks like she has the last 2 races, she should win by a couple of lengths in the spot. It's the big if. Here we go.
All right, Alley's Look takes first run. She'll take the lead. Boy, Chop's responding here.
Yeah, Chop's looking good. 6 is running decent here for Cherie, but I think it's going to be between the 2 Coxes here as we go for home. 4 and the 5. Let's see what happens. Alley's Look or Chop. Who you got, Magic?
I would take Alley's Look. She's fighting back. Come on, Alley. Come on, Alley.
Chop's going to wear her down. Oh, this is close.
Oh.
This is close. Come on, Alley. Re-rally. That'll work.
Oh, Chop's falling behind. Alley's got it.
Come on,
Alley's going to win it. Wow.
Right, we'll take that.
Now, I will say, look at how far back to third place. There's third. I didn't even see who came across there in third. The 7 Forest Chimes just missed and was 4th. Notorious Brad Cox hater, Dr. Miranda, passed on both the Cox horses, and they just
Well, okay.
Didn't work out that time.
Number one, I'm with David. I think there's going to be an inquiry here. They're way out in the middle of the track. So there could have been.
I never saw contact.
I didn't either, but there could have been some hurting here. We're going to see what happens on that. With Dr. Miranda, I thought it was a good time to take a shot as far as trying to bet a winner against the Cox horses. So I can't say too much bad about her, but you definitely needed to use them, obviously, on tickets. So I'm happy that I wasn't that dumb. Listen, it's the bigger of the two prices. That's good for my ticket. And I think it's going to stay up because I'm with you. I don't see any contact whatsoever here.
She did come out, she being Allie's Look, did come out a little bit there around the 8th pole. Wasn't it? Yeah, I didn't see any contact. Also, horse racing being what it is one barn or one jockey for the same barn going to call claim against the other in a spot like this?
Correct. And Nick just said it right as you were saying it. There's not going to be any kind of objection. The only thing it would be an inquiry from the stewards up top. So there's two things. You can object, and that's what you guys are talking about. One jockey objects against another, or there's an inquiry, which that's from the stewards. The jockeys don't have to do anything. It'd have to be an inquiry. There's nothing on the screen now. Probably just two fillies that were a little green, kind of just playing with each other there. So I think this one's going to stand. And you win bet Allie's Look, didn't you? Didn't you say you did?
I did, yeah. I win better. I also had a $10 pick 3 singling her, so I was a little nervous. If I did on my own there, I was a little nervous in the top of the turn. I was like, shit. Every horse I've bet has had a chance at the top, and then they get past. So
yeah,
get the job done. Let's go. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you were thinking the Allie's Look was going to hold on. I thought Chop Chop was going to go right by, but she just, that horse, and I screwed up because I should have put just the other Cox on top instead of taking a crazy swing for on top choice. But I knew Chop Chop wasn't that good, and that's why I had the idea of, okay, let's try to get crazy here because she's had chances to win. She hasn't been able to do it. I don't know why she's really on the dirt. She kind of spun her wheels a little bit there. No excuse. I mean, she had every single chance. Got a great trip in this spot too. I
would, shoot. What do you do? I think you send her to the next, you send Chop Chop to the next Oaks prep at Fairgrounds, and you just kind of wait until Keeneland opens, and then you can send her back to the turf. Because you're right. She started her career 2 for 2 on the turf. They tried the Alcibiades, and she was a very impressive closer in that race. A lot, so impressive with her weaving that even though she lost, she was the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. We'll see. We'll see what they do there. I do want to go back to Bree brought up a great question here. I'd love for you to answer. Is herding without contact, can that still be considered a foul?
It can. You don't absolutely have to make contact. It's obviously better when you do for the case for the horse that is getting fouled, but the rule is if you've impeded that horse's chance of any sort of placing whatsoever, then it's a disqualification. So if you herd a horse out, say the whole stretch, which is not what happened here, by the way. I don't think there should have been a call. So I'm not this specifically, but say you guys are 2 horses are together and the inside horse herds the other horse out all the way down the stretch. You can take that horse down for that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't think of a specific example off the top of my head, but there are plenty of times where if you just force the horse to alter course significantly, if you can always tell in the head-on if they really, and it's got to be, if there's no contact, it needs to be obvious, but the head-on shots are great for that. By the way, Travis Kelce update, nobody but me cares about. He's up to 72 yards, Aaron. We're small balling it. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
8 yards. Come on.
Oh, God, they're making me pay attention to this game. I always get nervous, too, when you have a player prop like that you play and it goes over, but the game isn't over yet. Because I remember when Barry Sanders broke the rushing record? He broke it, and then the next play, he got negative yards, and so he actually broke it twice because he was on that cusp there. So I always think about that and hope that it doesn't happen. Big gap. It was the 3 Hey You Never Know who ended up in third. I will say for her shot here, was that her first time stretching out? Hey You Never Know. Oh no, she was broke her maiden over this spot. she lengthwise, it kind of looked like the Untappable Stakes. It was hard, but she did fight to still, keep on there. Probably not an Oaks type horse, but pay attention to where she goes. Maybe a little bit later in the year. She's a horse that seems like she's got a lot of fight, and if she gets a favorable pace set up, she could be really tough there. Boy, where did the 5-1 go? I remember now. I bet Allie's look at 5-1, and it just gone.
That's why a lot of people get pissed off about this game, right? And that's a big difference, 5-1 to 2-1. Obviously, I don't need to tell you. You know who the big winner out of this race was? Pretty Mischievous, or whatever the hell her name is. Because she dominated that horse, the Alley's Look, last time out, and these two horses dominated the rest of this field.
I don't know. Actually, let me look at right now. I'm not sure if she's still in training. If maybe this was a little bit too quick turnaround, because remember that was December 26th when the Untappable Stakes took place. No, she hasn't worked since the Untappable. Pretty Mischievous. So, hope she's all right. That might make things a little interesting for her. But I think by osmosis, that still makes Hoosier Philly look even better for Tom Amos. That. Is it? Shoot, it's killing me. What is the next race in the? Is it the Rachel Alexandra?
Yeah, the Rachel Alexandra. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Speaking of Rachel Alexandra, she has a wait. Did her brother get cut or no? There was a Itzos. Itzos is Rachel Alexandra's half brother. He's actually going to be at Turfway Park later. He was supposed to be in the Lecomte, and they decided not to run him there after all. But he is a half to Rachel Alexandra. We could have had a half to Rachel Alexandra and the Dam who's half to Zenyatta. Their kids could have been fighting it out in the Lecomte, and we got robbed of it, Aaron.
Oh, I don't know how I'll sleep at night without this matchup.
I don't even want to watch the Lecomte now. I just have zero interest.
Yeah, I've got nothing on the line, right? So no. That horse was kind of a weird entry anyway. I didn't think that horse really fit. Itzo's the one you're talking about. Turfway kind of fits tonight. We'll see what happens there. I think you can beat that horse, but it's Turfway, so you just never really know. But the stablemate's there, and that's Bromley, and that's going to be an interesting horse. A lot of people really like that horse.
I don't want to talk about Turfway Park if we don't have to. I'm still not happy about what's happened with my best bets there. A little bit slow right now in terms of the racing action. Golden Gate is about to go off here for race 7. Shit. Let's talk about Turfway. That is the next one. Race 3 coming up here at Turfway Park in 8 minutes. Did you give this much of a look? I know you make every pick over at racingdudes.com, but did you have a strong feeling for this? It's a big 10-horse field and a heavy favorite in the 6th Speed Warning for trainer Michael Stidham, right now sitting at 3-2 on the board.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I do have that horse on top, so I can't really give any kind of like, hey, don't bet the favorite here. Like, I do like the favorite in the spot. You asked how confident are you? Well, it's a huge class drop. The horse has never touched the synthetic, though. That's going to be a question mark. But the horse has a pedigree that says probably will be able to handle it. So, yeah, I mean, Turfway Park, though, it is the home of upsets. We'll see what happens with that one. I did like the 6 quite a bit in that spot. For a long shot, if you want to go for a longer price, what's the 8 right now?
The 8,
12 to 1.
There you go.
Right? Yeah. Second start. First time out was over the dirt at Churchill Downs, maiden special weight. Got beat by Confidence Game, so pretty good race that was that day. Another one maybe can handle the synthetic. It's kind of 50-50, big time class drop. So I thought if you want an alternative, the 8, that's who I have in second.
I like Steve Asmussen trainee was in a huge maiden special weight. And just really, was last beaten almost 21 lengths, never really involved, but it had a rough start. So I think you can forgive that a little bit. It is Steve Asmussen and Sharp Azteca. I actually looked. I'm surprised is synthetic, not Sharp Azteca offspring game as good as he's been with the turf horses. I kind of like the 1 Blanton here for Johnny Ortiz. Gerardo Corrales is a jockey. If he's aboard a horse at Turfway Park, always catches my eye. Big fan of Blanton's bourbon whiskey. I think we've shared that before. In Louisville, Kentucky with our boy Free Beers before, but a son of Mendelssohn, John Ortiz usually pretty strong. This horse hasn't done well on dirt, so he's thinking, let's see what he does on synthetic here, going 6.5. But You do have the big favorite Speed Warning there on top. Michael Stidham is such a hard trainer to play against in a spot like this. He's doing well at Turfway Park as well, and adding the blinkers, and you got the 5-pound Bug Boy aboard. So
Yeah,
a lot to like about that.
You feel like that horse is good enough. He'll get the job done there, dropping down in class if he can handle the surface. By the way, 20-17 now in the football game. Jags just score. I think that's good for your bet, Magic, because that means they're going to have to throw here, and they're going to need to hit Kelsey, who just needs 8 more yards for you. So your bet looking decent there.
Whew. That bet's looking good. All those Chiefs bets we were giving out, saying that we were all very confident it would be Chiefs big in this one. Well, I guess it's not our fault. Patrick Mahomes' ankle went a different direction than the rest of his body. That was I don't know why I don't know why I went looking for it after you said like nasty in all caps about the hit. I shouldn't have gone to look for it. That was a really gross. Ankles are not supposed to turn like that.
If this was the regular season, there's absolutely no doubt Mahomes would be out of this game and not playing, and probably out the next week too. It was nasty. Yeah, I mean, you tell me that Mahomes would clearly not be 100% and would have to come out for a lot of the game, I wouldn't have said Chiefs big, that's for sure. The weird thing is, you go down, you get a touchdown here and a stop, you still cover for the Chiefs. So we'll see on that. It's going to be interesting how that kind of unfolds. That's it's been a wild game. Boy, the NFL never boring, never a dull moment there. So, yeah. What do we got? I haven't even looked at the board. I see people commenting on the odds here. Zozo 6-5 at Fairgrounds.
Well, let's head over there. I got Anita pulled up, but we can talk about Fairgrounds instead. No, that's fine. Listen, it's a Fairground show. That's what we can talk. I just wasn't sure if we'd be able to fill another 17 minutes talking about Fairgrounds. We can bounce back and forth here. Race 13 at Fairgrounds. It's the Grade 3 Louisiana Stakes here. Cut down now that Gentle Soul ran in the turf race earlier. Business model scratched because why not? Yeah, we don't have the live odds up here. 6-5 on Zozos, 3-1 on Run Classic, a horse that has talent. Can mount a 16th. Can he do that against horses like Zozos, Forza Dioro that definitely have proven that they like this sort of a distance there? 6-5 on Zozos. The other Cox is Forza Dioro, and this time that's where Giroux's at. He's 5-1 right now on the board. Did you like Forza Dioro that much in this race?
I did. When they had the scratches that happened in the what was that, the 11th race, I was able to go too deep in this spot. I did have Zozo singled. I went ahead and threw Forza Dioro on the ticket. I just used both the Coxes here, trying to get through. Zozo's is the one I like best. I really, really, really like that horse. I think he's just simply better than these horses. I think this field is full of quote unquote good or solid type of runners, horses that have proven form. I just think Zozo's is better than just solid or good. I think he can get up to that next level. Listen, the thing about it is, if he's not better than just solid or good, then all of a sudden he's in a dogfight, because Run Classic's a nice horse, Intrepid Heart, Happy American. All these horses are nice. Mr. Wireless even. These are nice horses.
Yep.
My thought process is I just think Zozo's is a little better than the level that I just talked about. If that opinion is wrong, this becomes a dogfight without any doubt.
Mr. Wireless, Mike Somich's least favorite horse of all of 2021 for losing the Texas Derby. He'll tell you that story if you still bring it up even today. It's gotta love horse players, right? All the huge cashes Mike Somich has had in horse racing. Doesn't talk about any of them, but you bring up Mr. Wireless and you live to regret it. Of all the horses in this, not just because he's the most lightly raced with only 5 starts, if you could buy stock for the year 2023 in any horse, it's got to be Zozos, right? You know, he had that super impressive return from 7 months away. He was in the Kentucky Derby, part of that stupid, wicked early pace, and then just faded off the board. But then he comes back 7 months later, you know, facing older horses for the first time. It's a long layoff, and just looked so dominant. He looked like the horse that won that really nice allowance at Lecomte Park, you know, almost a year ago. I think that of the horses in here, he's got the most upside. It's just that question of now he's really going to be tested against older horses, like a really big test here. Lots of salty horses in here. So I understand if you're against Zozos because of the odds here. Let's stick with Mr. Wireless for a second. This is an interesting one. If I was going to play an exacta, I might almost go 8-9 as a cold exacta. Mr. Wireless, 5 starts at the distance, 3 wins, 2 seconds. Mile on the 16th seems like it's right there in his wheelhouse, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. The thing about it is, by the way, Kelsey got it. First down. He got an 11-yard catch. You've cashed, Magic. Good job. Kelsey cashes. All right.
83 yards.
Let's talk about Mr. Wireless. I'm with you. Look, I just think it's a situation, Run Classic, Intrepid Heart, Happy American, Mr. Wireless, they all really look the same to me. So it's kind of like pick your poison on, okay, who am I going to play if I don't think Zozo's is like better than like the quote unquote solid or good type of horse. Wireless makes a ton of sense. I mean, this is a horse. He's not going to be, intimidated by the class level. He's been around. He's been in a lot of different tracks. He's kind of a reliable horse. I don't hate that opinion at all, Magic. I think he'll run pretty well. There are times he doesn't show up maybe with his absolute best, but most of the time he's right there hitting the board or close to hitting the board.
A horse that, boy, you would love to own him too. He's racked up over $870,000 in earnings. And you mentioned he won the West Virginia Derby Mountaineer. He won the Indiana Derby. He almost won the Texas Derby. He's won at Oaklawn. He, won at Churchill. Lots of big, twice actually he's won an Indiana Grand there. He goes, you can find these purses for these horses. And if you can go and take them, I mean, they pay a lot of bills. They keep a lot of lights on in the Brett Calhoun barn when you can get them to win like that, or to show up and give their effort like Mr. Wireless does.
Look at where he's shown up. I know you just kind of alluded to it, but Fairgrounds, Oaklawn, Lone Star, Indiana, Mountaineer, Remington Park, Churchill Downs, Keeneland. He's been everywhere, and that's what I'm talking about. That's class, guys. I'll tell you something. A lot of times you see horses that are great that ship around, and hey, they're great, and they're great because they can go different places. You got one like him, and he can go all those different places, like you just said. That's a hell of a nice horse, and so I have a lot of respect for Mr. Wireless. That's what makes it, like I said, it's. I love Zozo's in the spot, but also it does kind of tug on you that, hey, you better be right about him being pretty good, because you're going to have to be pretty good to beat all of these horses that are solid.
Hey, Based Outdoors is we haven't been live in a while for one of these, so good to see you again, friend. I loves the 7 Forza d'Oro for Brad Cox. Michael Ellison says if we make it past this leg, he's going to hedge $100 on Bromley in the Lecomte Stakes. Also live in the pick 6. Let's see if we can get through this leg. We'll get to talk about the Lecomte here in a little bit.
We'll see what the payouts are. I'm assuming they're going to be pretty decent. Like I said, if we get through here, we'll see. We'll see what the payouts are, and we'll see if that hedge is something we should do or not.
Hey, Vicky, good to see you. Happy 2023 to you as well, Vicky. Long-time friend of the show in the program here for the Racing Dudes. All right, let's put a pin in this. We got 10 minutes to post at Fairgrounds. Let's head back to Santa Anita, race 9. They're a few minutes away for 2 minutes to post here. Army Star, a horse that is. I don't like this horse, Aaron. He knocked me out of a score at Del Mar when he won last time out. But Paula Capestro doing a great job keeping this horse going. What did you think about this race? Who did you have on top?
First of all, we forgot about Turfway. I just checked over. The 6 does get the job done. The 6 does win. Here's the good news. Went off at 2-1. The horse went up in odds, so the 6 wins at 2-1 at Turfway. That's good news there. Okay, Santa Anita, you talked about this one. I think this thing is just completely wide open. I thought this card was super difficult at Santa Anita today. I'm going to lean with Doug O'Neill in the 7, Mark's Hip. I think this horse, last time out, was the first race over the dirt in a while. He had a couple of starts, but the first one in the wild. I think second time on the dirt here in a row. I think the horse will run a little bit better. I took the 7 on top. I wouldn't talk you off hardly anybody here. This is wide open.
I've been a fan of the 2 King Adrock since his debut. It was opening day of Keeneland, the first little 2-year-old race that they had. And this horse, because at the time there was a Wesley Ward, probably Wesley Ward horses in there. People in Kentucky, they didn't know about Luis Mendez and his ability to get early 2-year-olds to fire big. And so we got 5-1 with him and Flavien Prat. And I think that was the only time that they hit all meat at Keeneland. But it was a very nice surprise and a nice announcement of Luis Mendez. The horse tried a couple of stakes races, clearly not of that caliber, including facing having a meltdown in the Best Pal. They wait and bring this horse back as a gelding at Los Al. It's a quirky track there, but was a pretty nice, impressive when it got the rust knocked off, which I like to see. So now we're moving forward here. Second start off the layoff. $50,000 tag dropping a little bit. It's probably about where this horse fits, honestly, for its career. Is going to be around this area. But I really like the 2 here. It would be nice if Flavien Prat had picked the mount back up, but I also respect Mendez sticking with JD Lopez, who was aboard for that Los Al win last out.
Yeah, I would not be shocked at all if the 2 wins here. I think that's a pretty good pick. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can go in this one. The 2 at 7-1. Yeah, how am I supposed to say? No, you better not play that 2 at 7-1. I mean, that's a pretty darn good price on this horse. Pretty much any horse but the 3. The 3's 8-5. Not saying the 3 can't win, but you're not going to get the price you probably want on that horse. Anybody else, if you like them, take a shot with them. It's a wide open race, and you're getting the prices that you need.
Well, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but the jockey aboard last out for Paula Capestro that got the win at Del Mar, Diego Herrera, not on this time. Diego Herrera is actually riding the 10 Black Magician for Hector Palma, and he's not a jockey who normally rides for Hector Palma. So an interesting move, but Paula gets the Bug Boy Aguilar up for a 7-pound allowance. Could help a little bit, but not love it. It is interesting. I forgot about Army Star. Faced Loggins on debut. So Loggins, by the way, I did see on Twitter they're hoping the horse will be back in training either by the end of this month or early February. In training, meaning we might have the first published workout. So if you were like me and you liked Loggins coming into this, Loggins might be returning to the work tab hopefully soon.
I will take the over on that estimation.
That's probably the right way to do it.
I don't think he will be back.
Taking his sweet ass time with this horse.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back on the work tab in the first of February. I don't. But all right,
first week of February. But
do what?
I said, well, I was thinking first week of February, but I see your point there.
Okay, I don't
King Adrock up to 10-1.
I don't think he'll be on the work tab the third week of February. Even how about that? We'll see though.
Almost like you might know something here.
All right, here we go. You had the 2, right? Well, the 2's battling 3 or on the rail press, 3 horses outside, but has the nose in front.
Had the nose in front.
Yeah, good point. Well, listen, my 7's already fading back, so
7. The jockey's peaking, and it's not because he thinks he's winning; it's because he's trying to stay out of everybody else's way.
That's right.
It didn't work. He just banged pretty hard into the 3 horse there.
Your two's fighting it, Magic.
Not
going to be good enough, but not a terrible effort.
Correct to play against Army Star at the at those short odds in this spot. Oh, is the 4 going to get there? 4 got there.
4 got there.
Game. Wow,
I'm telling you, I thought that Santa Anita card today was tough.
That's one T word. That's one 5-letter T word you could call it. Yeah.
Yeah. Post parade here. The 2 looks and the 3 both looked really, really good here. We're talking about Fairgrounds now in the Louisiana. There's the 5 Happy American. Another good looking horse, man. Really good looking horse. Now they're showing the 7 Forza d'Oro. Second out for Brad Cox here. We'll see what happens. Sometimes you see improvement. Second out for Brad. We'll see what happens. 6-1. Zozo's looks great. He's the 8. He's 6-5. That's a good looking son of Munnings.
He and Mr. Wireless, they're both looking pretty ready to run here. Zozos looks so beautiful though. They had a nice head-on shot. You got to see his blaze and everything.
He's a pretty horse. He's a really pretty horse.
Yeah. Lots of orange there with Forza d'Oro. You got the orange for the Don Alberto stable silks, and then also wearing the 7 saddlecloth. So unless you're colorblind to the color orange, you're going to have no problem figuring out where Forza d'Oro is at.
This is true. Thanks for pointing that out for us, Magic.
Hey, listen, this is why you come to the Racing Dudes Live.
It's nice to be back doing live shows. This is fun. I forgot how fun this was.
Our boy Vinny just sent me a text. I forwarded it over to you. He's got a signed Danhausen action figure.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
That is cool. Yeah, I just got the message. Wow. Very cool. Wonder where you got that.
I know JD Fox, good friend of the program, has he got a Danhausen what do they call those, cameos or whatever? Maybe it was cameo or something different, but he got one for his birthday from his wife. That's a good wife. That's a good wife right there.
Him and I have something in common.
That's right. You got one. I forgot about that. Yeah. All right. Chiefs are up 27-17. Now at this point, we just care because we had him at 8.5, 9.5 on the morning show. Travis Kelce about to hit. Oh, he's at 98 yards. So that is now 7 straight playoff games. Travis Kelce has had at least 95 receiving yards. So, man, this is it's looking good for the Fighting Kansas City Welches. Jared's been pretty silent this whole second half. I think he started to get a little nervous when his boy Patty M got hurt, but they seem to be doing well, Aaron.
Yeah, they still can't stop him. And Mahomes, this is one for the legend book. My goodness, he is out there visibly hurting. I mean, he looks in so much pain, but he's out there making plays. It's really been impressive. So, but Jacksonville's just returned it to the 45. So, I mean, it's not over. I think Mahomes is going to have to make one more drive, but I wouldn't bet against him.
They really like letting Jacksonville, they're like, here, we'll give you the ball on a return. You just come on up. Come on up. We want to keep this closer than it needs to be right now.
It's definitely, they have not played just a real sharp game, but all things considered, the way Mahomes has been hurt for a lot of it, still be up 10, it's pretty good. But yeah, they haven't played just tremendous. That's for sure. 1 minute, Zozo's 6-5. He has held 6-5 this whole time.
The exact is, if you wanted, I saw Shadi was playing in an 8-9 exacta box. If it goes 8-9, it's a $17 payout. If it goes 9-8, it's a $30 payout for $1. So obviously we didn't use Mr. Wireless, so we would love it to be 8-9. Shadi, that's still a good 17-1 payoff for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gosh, yeah, it is scary because I just feel like top of the stretch, you're going to know it's like Zozo's is the horse you think, or we're going to have like a fight on our hands. It's nerve wracking when you're live here to a lot to him, but we'll see what happens.
So after this, the last leg is the Lecomte. So who do you need in this leg? Because you're live in the pick 5, and who do you need in the last leg?
Yeah, I need the 7 or the 8 here. Both the Brad Cox horses, either 7 or 8 in this one. And then I'm alive to 1, 4, 7, 8 in the last. That's Echo again, Confidence Game, Instant Coffee, and 2 fills in the last. 4 horses and a 6-horse field. So what could go wrong, right?
Didn't use Bromley. Interesting. I know that's the Bromley almost now feels like the wise guy horse to me that everybody's kind of jumping on. That it seems like it might be a little too much love for the horse, but we'll find out here in about 30. Well, TVG says 23 minutes. It's not going off in 23 minutes.
Yeah, no. And Michael actually emailed me. He bought the Rockets today. He's playing along. He actually emailed me about Bromley as well. He said, it's interesting you leave him off. So he's got a little saver there with Bromley in the pick 6. Well, that sounds like not just a saver, a pick 6 ticket where he won 3 7/8 in that one. So it's one of those things. I kind of said it on Bleakers Off, and I'll say it now. To me, Instant Coffee is the best horse. And the rest of them, it's like they're going to have to jump up and run a little bit better than what they've shown. And Bromley is kind of in that category. I just think he's a smidge overhyped, right? But that being said, depending on what these will pays are, could have a hedge bet on Bromley in this next race because he definitely is scary. He has potential. He has the pedigree. He has a great, a big purchase price. So there are things to like. I would not talk anybody off a horse like Bromley. He just wasn't what I wanted to play in this, and you can't play them all. And it's the decision I made, and we gotta run with it, right?
One horse we didn't talk about sitting at 15-1 on the board, Intrepid Heart. What do you think about his chances here? Saez aboard, Joe Sharp adding the blinkers again.
We talked about him a little bit off air this morning, you and I and Somich, and I said, look, he's a horse that he passes a lot of them. He just won't pass that last one all the time. But look, he's another one. If Zozos isn't a great horse, he's just solid. Intrepid Heart has a chance, right? They all kind of bunch together. And at 15-1, if you want to put him underneath, I wouldn't talk you off of it. I personally did not use Intrepid Heart. I don't hate the play, though. There's not really one you're going to tell me and I'm going to go, no, don't do that. It's that kind of race. I just love the 8. Hopefully he proves me right. Like I said, if he doesn't, you can make a case for almost all of these.
It's crazy that if you scratch off the Tenacious, which is when they briefly took the blinkers off of him and he blew the start, it was just not a good day for him. He'd finished second in his last 6 starts. Then he won, and then he was second again. So 7 of his last 8 races, he was second, and the other one he won. It feels like that horse that's going to, at 15-1 could really blow up the tickets here. So, all right, we're going in the gates. Let us know in the chat your final bets here going for the Louisiana Stakes. And again, thank you so much for joining us. Really happy to have so many of you joining us. And a reminder, we'll be back for the Pegasus World Cup coverage next week, Saturday, January 28th. Gulfstream has an actual turf course, so hopefully we'll have better, more exciting results on the turf than what we've had so far today.
I hope so. Yeah, hopefully we get good weather and everything works out well. That's always such a fun card. Don't have that huge standout. Don't have that great match race that we had last year. But I think from a betting standpoint, best Pegasus we've had yet. So we'll see, though. I think they draw tomorrow. I think that'll come out tomorrow. So the guide will probably be out. No, I don't know. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere along in there. So it's going to be a fun week for sure.
They're off.
Good
Chess Chief really wanted that lead, didn't he? Not going to get it, but boy, he tried.
Yeah, so now they're going to separate, and the 2 Cox horses are going to just kind of be side by side. Forza d'Oro in front, and Zozo's right there, and where I kind of was envisioning him being in second there.
This looks almost exactly like the Silverbulletday Stakes last time out, or last race, where you have the one horse that you thought would go to the lead, and there you go. You got the horse that you got a Brad Cox horse sitting there in second. Run Classic sitting in a really tight hold there. We'll see what he has left, but the trainer Brett Calhoun was sure that he thought, a 7/8 to a mile was the horse's best distance, mile on the 16th. He could get the job done. If the setup is right for him here, but pretty comfortable for Forza d'Oro right now, Florent Giroux.
I was going to say, the slow as they're going, you got to think one of these 3 up here at the top are going to go on and win this thing. Forza d'Oro, that would be okay for me as well. He's turning the corner here looking nice. They really haven't asked these 2 horses behind. Now the real running begins, so we're going to ask him. We're going to see what these horses have. It could be a day for Forza the way it's going. We'll see if he can hold on.
Intrepid Heart gearing up to go about 8 wide off the turn here. I see the gray horse. Zozos isn't firing, Aaron. We're going to need the 7 to take off and hold him.
He waited a long time to ask him. He just got pinched. This is a disaster. Oh, no.
Oh, Happy American's going to win his second straight stakes race here.
Yep.
Forzo's fighting. Oh, man. I thought for a second Forzo was going to fight back. And Mr. Wireless, boy, loves to finish first or second at these distances there. Forzo showed a lot of fight. I do not know what happened to Zozos there.
He didn't run on. He did not run on.
Look at how far off Forzo is after in the gallop out too there.
I'm really surprised. I thought Forza was going to turn for home and kind of kick clear, and he didn't. Right here, you see the 8 and 9 are battling. The 9 just kind of pitches the 8 off, and then Zozos absolutely quits. And then Happy American, and that's a horse that, like I said, he's really, really consistent. Boy, Forza battles back here. He just could not quite get to Happy American. 5-9-7. That's the results there, Diego.
Yeah, 5-9. I'll put it in the chat here for you too.
Man, oh man.
So we kind of talked about, I don't know if you guys mentioned it on Blinkers Off at all, but Happy American wins that stakes race last out where six of the top 7 finishers from the Tenacious came back and showed up here. Happy American won it, and then his reward for winning that was they gelded him and brought him back for this race. I was like, you don't really see a horse win a stakes and then at age 5 they go, okay, now we're going to geld you. You know what? That aerodynamic, extra aerodynamics that he had there might have been what helped him.
Yeah, it is a weird situation, right, where that happens. But boy, what a heartbreaker! And like I said, I thought we were in good shape the whole way around there, and just Zozo's totally empty. But Happy American, you got to give him a lot of credit, man. He ran a fantastic race. Look, they closed into slow ass fractions. These fractions were slow, and that's why I kept thinking, Forza, go! Like, you've got this thing. Like, I still thought we were in good shape, but he did kind of battle back a bit there. But Happy American, man, it was just really, really tough to hold him off. He ran a good race.
I gotta find it. Someone earlier in the chat, a little while ago, actually brought up Neil Pessin. Might have been Vicky.
I think it was.
And I gotta go find it. But yeah, trainer Neil Pessin keeping this horse alive. Also, Bell's the One's trainer. Neil Pessin, the horse that we used to like to play. Where is it? Damn it! I know somebody brought up Neil Pessin. Where is it?
Vicky.
Vicky turned us off to watch the race because she was rooting for Zozo. She might not come back. She might be as upset as we are about Zozos' performance there. Boy, he was in the perfect spot and just did not fire. There it is.
Yeah.
20 minutes ago. Vicky predicted it.
Yeah. That was really upsetting because of the trip that he got. You're like, well, he's going to win this thing, and just didn't do it.
25 flat, 49 3/4, a minute 15 for the first 6 furlongs. It'll be interesting to see what what Happy American's final splits were in the stretch there, because like you mentioned, for him to close into that, to have a 6-second final 16th there, that horse was motoring. So that was we didn't have him. That was an impressive effort from Happy American.
Oh yeah, I mean, just because you don't have a horse, you shouldn't poo on him. That was a really good effort, like I said, and it is what it is. You are disappointed. I can't sit here and say I'm not disappointed with the result of the race, but look, Zozo's wasn't the horse, and it was just a miscalculation on my part. And Happy American was one. Definitely usable, no question about that, and ran really, really well. You got to give him a ton of credit.
The Chiefs are they still have a 10-point lead now, about 5 minutes left in the game. They've got the ball, 2nd and 6 at their own 7. It's a tenuous spot, but you've got, Chiefs winning by 10. Is that still, you think, what's going to be the most likely outcome here, Aaron?
I do, yeah. So the Jaguars were driving and fumbled at the 2-yard line when they were going in to make it 27-24. So now you're sitting here like, okay, the Chiefs need a couple of first downs, and you're going to cover if you bet them magic, or somehow you're going to cover if you bet them -8.5, 9.5, 7, whatever you got them at. But they do not get the first down, and so that hurts big time, because now the Jaguars will have a shot to get back and at least cover this. So that's a big non-first down for the Chiefs there.
Yeah, watch out for those backdoor covers. They always get you, right?
That's right. That's right. And especially with Jacksonville, they find a way these last few weeks. So we'll see. They totally blew up that play. Wow. And the Chiefs have got a punt. They're deep, deep inside their own end. So.
Well, let's find something happy to talk about for a minute. Let's see if we can go to, we'll go over to Santa Anita. They've got the nightcap race 10 is coming up here in about 10 minutes or so. It's a maiden special weight going 6.5 on the turf. Always a big field for these last races at Santa Anita, and love that it's on the turf. Who did you like in race 10 to close things out?
I put the 1 on top. Dandy Man Shines. I really like this horse. New trainer, well, sort of. Mullins Jr. instead of Mullins, but they're the same operation. This guy's on fire. He's just winning every race that he enters right now. Cutting back in distance, I actually think that's going to help. I think he'll close into what should be I don't know. It feels like there should be some pace setting up in this one. So I think the number one, Dandy Man Shines, is going to be the one to beat here.
Note it's a flat 6.5. They're not going down the hill. They're taking advantage of that chute that they created when the turf hill course was considered too unsafe. And you're not kidding about Jeff Mullins Jr. 6 starters coming into today, 4 wins and a third. So what the hell was wrong with that 6th horse that he didn't hit the board? Oh, it was Moody Jim. That's who it was. That happened yesterday. No, it's yeah, I don't know what else to say. The fact that his dad gets suspended, he shows up and he goes 4 for 6 to start things out. That's horse racing, right?
It is, and that's the best way you can put it. That's how this game is. I mean, that's it's disheartening. Look, it really is. And what are you going to do though? That's the game.
You bitch about it, drink your margarita, and you move on to the next race. Jeff Mull, you know what? No matter what happens, even if Dandy Man Shines wins, the trainer's stats are going to go down. He actually has 2 in here. The 3 Valiancer as well. But I'm with you. I do like the one's chances a bit better, cutting back from running a 2-turn mile. You would think it's almost like when you see a horse on the dirt cut back from a 2-turn mile, and now they're going 7 or 6.5. Should have a little bit of extra oomph in there. Including, the horse they came to America as a maiden. They threw him straight into a couple of grade 3 stakes routes. So if you're looking for a bit of a price at San Anita race 10, who did you like?
Yeah, and I definitely think there could be a chance of that for sure. What are the odds right now on the 7? I'm sure he's bet down pretty hard.
6-1 right now.
Okay,
one of the 2 Phil
that'll
D'Amato
count
horses.
then. The 7 for sure is a horse that I'm interested in a little bit as well. This horse debuting for D'Amato with Flavian Pratt aboard. I mean, we've talked about how Pratt's burning some money, but listen, he's still getting horses that are very, very good. He can still get the job done. I thought him jumping aboard this horse made a lot of sense. I do like the 7 a bit. Let me see the odds. What's the 5? 5-1. That's not really a longer price. Oh, here's one. The 3. I thought the 3 made a little bit of sense. The other Mullins, as you were saying earlier, just from the standpoint of when longer price for a horse that has 2. How many times do you see that happen, right? And he's 10-1, so that'd be one I would look at as well.
A little bit of an upgrade from no shot at Kyle Frey, but Hector Barrios has done very, very well in California. And the only time he's ridden for Junior Mullins, they got a winner. They got a winner home at 4-1. I like the 7. I also like the other D'Amato, which is also the other little red feather horse in here, the 12. One of these days, making the first time start in North America, it can be a tricky angle, but Phil D'Amato, past 5 years, according to DRF, 9 for 29 with shippers in maiden races. 9 others finished second. So 18 for 29 in the exacta. So if you're looking to play an exacta here, the 12, if you don't like him to win, maybe throw the 12 in there. Did you have the 12 in your top 4? Or did he not make the cut?
I did not have the 12 in there. Yeah, this is a horse we're going to just kind of see what this horse is made of, right? Two races overseas, and now we're coming here. Going to be really good or not, right? I mean, we'll see what happens there. It's hard to know what we're going to see, but having D'Amato is definitely a good sign. By the way, I looked at the will pays for this pick 5. Holy cow. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. Because, if Forza D'Oro wins, these will pays are probably pretty similar to what we're seeing now with Happy Americans. So there's some ones we're going to miss out on here. But, we got Gulfstream home at least today. So that's a little bit of a minor award at least.
Vicky, we did shout you out. I think you were still coming back after watching the Zozos race, but you did call out Neil Pessin 20 minutes before the race ended there. So you said Neil Pessin, that was dangerous at Fairgrounds. I just wish that you had been on the show and you could have said, no, we need to make sure the 5 is in our pick 3 ticket here. That's now defunct there.
Gosh, yeah. Well, again, you're just most disappointed in Zozos. He ran a horrible race. There's no way around it. And what are you going to do? You got to have opinions, and then those opinions have to go in. That's the name of the game, right? So my opinion was not a good one for that particular race.
It happens. All right, let's head back to Fairgrounds here. We haven't talked really in depth about any of these horses. The Lecomte Stakes, 20 points to the winner towards the Kentucky Derby Trail. Brad Cox with 1 in here after Tappett's Conquest. I think the way he ran, rightfully so, scratched out and was in that allowance race earlier on the card. But let's go through the field in post order. We'll start with the real horse, Echo again, one that you continue to still hold belief in. And I think you could make an argument for this horse. If he ends up getting a lone lead like he got in his debut at Saratoga with that smashing number, that's what I think makes him dangerous in here. It's just the Iroquois, remember Damon's Mound was in there, and the two of them cooked each other and were completely toast. Then the Springboard Mile, he didn't have an easy lead up front and again fell off. So is it the 2 turns, or maybe he's one of those sprint horses that if you give him that early lead, he's got enough left to get it done?
He's the one that's really just hard to figure out. He really is. Steve Asmussen putting this horse back in here just gives me the confidence that he sees more in him than what we have seen and what he's shown on the track. If you're just watching his 2-turn races, you're not supporting him today. There's no way. But the pedigree and honestly, his running style to get out in front, that usually works pretty well in 2-turn races. So even better than 1-turn races a lot of times. So I used him on my now defunct ticket. I think he can get that trip that you just laid out where he gets to the lead, he's on the rail, and he can take him. But I get it if you want to just throw him to the curb because it hasn't been good for him going 2 turns. My goodness, the public still believes in him. He's 3-1 right now on the board.
Well, one thing I thought of too, made all those maiden races today at Fairgrounds. They had that allowance race that Tappett's Conquest ran in. That was an N2 lifetime. Echo again's eligible for N2 lifetime. Asmussen, if he thought maybe the horse needed a confidence booster, or maybe he wasn't of this caliber, like you're saying, showing faith, putting him in here still. Tyler Gaffleone is a more than capable jockey, wins at 23% overall for Asmussen. So it would not shock me if he did it. Mike and I in our now defunct Pick 5 tickets for the Magic Mike show, I didn't use him. Mike did, and I know it was a horse that you liked as well. There's, some people have said, he's not going to be able to handle 2 turns. He's a half to pneumatic, and pneumatic was quite handily at a mile and the 16th. There was no issue for him doing 2 turns. Just to his outside, the 2 horse is another gun runner. This one is Dennington for Kenny McPeek, and Kenny McPeek is one of those trainers that when you count him out and you think there's no way this horse has a shot in hell, that's when a horse like the 2 Dennington comes up at a big number at 22-1. They're adding the blinkers. It's not McPeak's top jockey, Brian Hernandez Jr. aboard, though. Hernandez was named on Itzos and that horse scratched. So he's got Corey Lannery up. What do you think about the 2 Dennington?
I'm mildly interested in that horse, especially at this price. I liked him a bit in the Smarty Jones at Oaklawn last time out. I also thought he kind of got in a little bit of trouble in the Kentucky Jockey Club. I don't think he's a bad play if you want to put him underneath. I don't think Dennington's going to actually win this race. I think it will be somebody else. But look, he didn't run horrible in either one of those stakes races that we just mentioned. He was a nice maiden special weight winner at Churchill Downs. You kind of said this is the McPeak horse that usually wins. That form gets dirtied up a little bit. He's not the type of trainer that's just waiting for the absolute perfect spot. He's throwing them in spots when he thinks that horse is ready to go. At this price, he's a little bit playable. I don't think, I didn't put him on a ticket. I don't really think he's going to win. I'm not going to be shocked if he gets up there and hits the board.
He also was, you see that he was 5th in the Kentucky Jockey Club, but if you remember, Instant Coffee won, and then it was a blanket of 4 horses fighting for second. He was the last little thread in that blanket there, but he was ahead in 2 noses away from second. He was a quarter length away from finishing second in that race. If that page now says second by a length and a quarter instead of 5th by a length and a half, he's not 22-1 here, right? A lot of people are going to see his name show up on that page. A little bit of his form was a little bit spotty. He did well at Ellis and then almost broke the maiden and then bombed behind Tappett's Conquest, but then he broke the maiden in the slop. And yeah, the efforts since then, really not that bad. At 22-1, adding the blinkers, I like that, McPeak's trying to find something to try and get that extra step up out of him. The buyers have improved each of the last 4 starts. 22-1 feels like that's a bit of an overlay there. You should try and use him if you like him. Next horse, number 3, Bromley, 5-1 morning line. A lot of people liked this horse. It seemed like could be a wise guy horse. He's 8-1 right now. Are you surprised by the 8-1 for a horse that's undefeated in 2 starts?
Yeah, and it seems like everybody on Twitter absolutely loved this horse. It's going to crush, it's going to win easy, and we had people in the chat that think the same. So it is very interesting. The horse is 8-1. I think the horse is a very much just a big question mark. Am I going to be shocked if he wins? No, I'm not, because I do think he does have a little bit of talent. He's got a lot of pedigree, a big purchase price, all that kind of stuff. But he really hasn't run a race where I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to jump on it. I just can't do that here. I'm going to kind of wait and see what happens. If he beats me, he beats me. End of the day, I just could not put this horse on top.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is the time to play a horse like this when they go 2 sprints to a route first time, and it's by Mastery, who was a very good looking horse when going 2 turns until he got hurt early in his 3-year-old career. The dam Go-Go Dana is a half to Zenyatta, so there is theoretically a lot of ability from the dam side as well. You know, he was 23-1 when he broke his maiden, a big surprise. I wasn't surprised at even money next out at Turfway Park. When you see a horse do that, a trainer like Paulo Lobo has a presence at Turfway Park, but when they go dirt to synthetic and now they're back to dirt, are you worried about that? Or is it more a case of that's Turfway's the only place to run in the wintertime for these Kentucky trainers?
Yeah, yes and no. Like, I think, and again, everybody, I've never trained a horse, and what do I know? But I would just think logic would tell you, if I think this horse is a Derby kind, I would come down here to Louisiana or to Oaklawn Park on the dirt, and maybe not you have to run first time out in a stakes, but go to an allowance. Both of those tracks have plenty of allowances that time of year where you can run at, or even, well, no, I would think those are the 2 places. Wouldn't go anywhere else, actually. But that's what I would have done. Didn't do that. He's the trainer, not me. We'll see if that kind of hurts him. But no, I don't love to see a dirt and then a synthetic and then a dirt for a horse that has just 3 starts. But I'm not a trainer, but I'm a believer. Keep him on the same surface.
By the way, 3 minutes to post. Jockeys are still just watching the horses circle. I'm not sure why exactly that's the case. It doesn't look like it's raining. But we were supposed to 80% chance of rain as of 2 days ago. I thought for sure it would be raining or pouring by this point. Hasn't happened yet. The 4-horse confidence game is my top pick in this race. Keith DeSormo trained it because I thought, hey, DeSormo, it's a big day. He's going to hit with a couple of good ones. He's already hit with a couple of good ones. Can he do it again in this sequence? He and jockey Jimmy Graham at Fairgrounds, 36% together with a 558 ROI. The horse won his last start. DeSormo 18% with a positive ROI with that angle as well. A horse kind of like Dennington, where you can make some excuses for why he hasn't always shown up with a good race in the past. But the 2 wins he's had, Aaron, this is what concerns me. He went gate to wire. He led at every point of call. It does not seem like it sets up that well for him to do that here.
Yeah, that's true. But you said it. DeSormo's kind of like McPeak in the standpoint of you never really give up on his horses. He kind of just puts them in spots and gives them every opportunity. This kind of felt like a race he could win. I used the 4 here. I really liked what I saw from him last time out. He may not be good enough. He may not be good enough to get the job done here. We'll see. But I think he's going to factor in. And I don't think this field is overly, great. So I do think confidence game is going to factor in and has a shot here. And by the way, the back door is open in Kansas City. Jaguars just made a field goal. And so now the Jaguars are covering. It's 27-20.
With 25 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Does this feel like deja vu with your basketball game last night?
Yeah, it does.
Sorry. That's why I think I think all of my parlay bets, I just took the Chiefs money line because I thought I was using it as a free space. So congrats to the Chiefs. I'm so sorry if you bet them with anything higher than 6.5 though, because you're not going to get it there. The next 2 horses here, Scratch the 5, Tabit's Conquest was second in the allowance, race 9. By the way, the replay for that available at youtube.com/racing dudes. Go check that out. The 6 Itzos is going to be running at Turfway Park in about an hour here in the Louisiana Stakes, which is the lead up as one of their, it's not an official Kentucky Derby prep race, but is a local prep that will eventually lead to the Jeff Ruby Stakes. So we'll have the replay from that race up over at youtube.com/racing dudes as well. The number 7 is your favorite at even money, Instant Coffee, Brad Cox, Luis Saez. This horse, Aaron, my concern with him, and now that it's only a 6-horse field, it kind of still stands. I don't know that he's fast enough to keep up early with these horses and the way that things have been playing at the track. You could have a little bit of a meltdown from Echo again, but will he be able to pass every horse that's ahead of him coming off that far turn?
Well, that's going to be the big question, and I really felt like with Instant Coffee, you go back, you watch that race last time out, being that wide the whole time, a really slow pace, and he was still able to kick on and look really, really good down the lane. I just feel like, gosh, you're going to get an easier trip today, and you might get a little more pace. The setup should be easier for him. And oh, by the way, he's also the classiest horse in the race. He's faced horses that are much better than this. I just felt like he was the one today. And I just think he is even money, but he probably deserves to be now that this field is scratched down to 6. His main rival could have been the horse that scratched Tappett's Conquest, even though he didn't run just real great, got a bad ride. But still, I just think he looks much the best to me on paper.
Brad Coxon, owner Gold Square, owner of Instant Coffee, already teamed up earlier today with the win at Aqueduct. Slip Mahoney got the job done at Aqueduct. I bring that up because I saw the buyer already came out for that. 87 buyer, pretty decent for that race. He beat a horse named Krupi, who just, God, that horse loves to finish second or third in every single race he's in. But yeah, it's another race. We got the preview up over at youtube.com/races. By the way, if you didn't know, we have a whole playlist set up there for you with any horse that we think could eventually hit the Kentucky Derby trail. All those replays are easy to find in one spot, so make sure you check that out. Bookmark it if you haven't yet. Last horse to talk about as they're finally hitting the track here. There is on the screen 2 fills. I hate that there's an apostrophe in fills. Jareth Loveberry, trainer Larry Ravelli. These two longtime partners. They've won a lot of races together. They won the Street Sense last time out back in October at Churchill Downs. I think they were hoping it was going to rain a lot because that horse looked really good in the slop. He has one on fast track, but it was sprinting. What do you think about 2 fills?
Yeah, that's the question mark, right? That was really impressive last time out over the slop. I don't know if a lot of the horses in that race cared for the surface, did a whole lot of running. But anytime you win a stakes, you win it by that margin, you're not going to talk too badly about the horse. It was nice. I used the horse. I thought, hey, you can kind of, you can kind of just rebound, reproduce that race. You probably can win in the spot. So I put 2 fills on the ticket. He's interesting. He's taking a lot of money now. He's the second choice now, down to 3-1. You're talking about the post parade. I thought Echo again looked fantastic. I thought Bromley looked really, really good as well. It's just from looks. They looked really nice on the post parade.
Couple notes on 2 fills. He that race that he won at Churchill, the Street Sense Stakes, he beat a horse. He walloped a horse named Jace's Road, who came back and went gate to wire to win the Gunrunner Stakes next time out over this exact course and distance. Got a 90 buyer. We haven't seen Jace's Road back yet. Looks like they may have stopped on him with the workouts a little bit. Also, 5th place in that race was Red Route 1, a horse that shows up all over Instant Coffee's past performances and a couple other ones as well in here. So, the fact that he's beat up on Red Route 1 pretty handily in that race, and then, Instant Coffee was a head away from him in the Breeders' Futurity. That says all about. Also, 2 fills was 7th, way behind everybody in the Breeders' Futurity. So, a lot of inconsistent horses here. The only one really with any consistency, that's the 3 Bromley, and he's only ever done it sprinting. So we'll see what happens. They're saying it's post time. They're still over on the backstretch, it looks like right now. But if you're in the chat, let us know. Who are you thinking about playing in this spot? Well, let's see. We'll start here. Ilkar Perez, Echo again, got no chance. We'll find out. I think this has got to be it, right, Aaron? Like, this is the last race where we try Echo again. If he wins or if he's like right there and just misses, great. If not, we got to start targeting the Woody Stevens or the Pat Day Mile.
You have to take that route. You have to take the Jackie's Warrior route, so to speak. When he was a 3-year-old, they tried it a couple times. It didn't work. Well, they just tried it once. Twice. They tried it as a 2-year-old as well, Breeders' Cup. So yeah, to me, Echo again, this is it. You got to try it one more time. I get it. I'm sure they think he can do it or they wouldn't keep throwing him in, but it's now or never, even if he doesn't win, if he just shows a little bit of punch, it would be an improvement. You watch that race last back at Remington, the Springboard Mile. He got a fast figure, but man, he just faded bad once they got to him. And so you just hope that's not the case here. Well, I don't know. Maybe you do hope that's the case if you're against him, but you hope he shows a little bit more here. We'll see. He looks great, but he always looks great. He's a good-looking horse.
Yeah, it's a son of gun runner out of a Tappet mare named Teardrop. It was a beautiful horse, a bit of a nutcase, but hey, what Tappet horse isn't? That's a really, really difficult. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. Hey, it's the one Tappet. It's not a complete and utter nutcase. They're finally heading to the post here. Even money still on Instant Coffee. I did see, we'll bring this up. Idolcar Perez, what happened to Extra Nejo? This is a horse, unlike Loggins, where it's questionable if he's returning. Extra Nejo is going to be getting back into the work very short order here. So if you like Extra Nejo, same connections as Echo again, owned and bred by Winchell Thoroughbreds, owned by Winchell Thoroughbreds, trained by Steve Asmussen. He is down at Fairgrounds. So you know what? This could, maybe Echo again is the placeholder. Winchell and Asmussen, we just got to get somebody in this race. We just got to try and get somebody because Epicenter got robbed of it last year. See if we can get it. And if not, Extra Nejo will come back and take care of that. I've seen people asking, we can't show the live stream, unfortunately. If you have an ADW in America, you'll be able to catch it. Otherwise, we'll have the replay up over at youtube.com/racingdudes pretty soon. Hey, you got a friend here, Aaron. Can't quit Echo again. Dare says can't quit. You understand.
I've quit him as far as betting him to win, but I can't quit putting him on tickets. So there is that. Look, I think Instant Coffee is going to be awfully tough. I think he will win this. I don't want to sit here and say easy, but I think he's going to win it without a whole lot of drama. If he doesn't, it's going to be interesting because it could go one of two ways. We see a breakout performance, or we look at this and it's like, ooh, I'm not sure these horses are very good. So let's see.
Yeah. Cyclo Mischief was in the Kentucky Jockey Club, was part of the early duel with Gigante and faded way off to be 7th. And he came back and did okay, getting 90 buyer for whipping up on some allowance horses at Gulfstream Park. All right, they're starting to enter the gate here. It is, let's see, it's 6. Wow, my voice is breaking. Sorry. You think I'd been talking for 14 races. 6:41 local time there in New Orleans around Central Time. It's just absolutely dark. The photos that come out of the Fairgrounds races on these nights or these days, it looks like they're edited because just the front runners are covered in light. That's because they put the light on the finish line so that everybody, including the jockeys, actually knows where they're supposed to finish here.
Yeah,
we're in the gate. Ooh, not a good break for the 3 Bromley. That's that. He's going to be rushed up. Instant Coffee's he's going to trail him here, Aaron.
Wow.
Oof. Don't like that.
Wow. He is dead last. That's going to be interesting. And it's Echo again out to the front, but Bromley's right there. Confidence game, 3 wide pressing. This is going to be interesting. This is not exactly how I saw this setting up. Let's see this fraction, though. If it's fast, maybe Instant Coffee's in a decent spot. It's not overly fast, 24-2.
No, and actually the Instant Coffee looking a lot like a Brad Cox Godolphin horse that Saez was riding early on. I think it was race 2 or 3. Was way far back and made a good run to hit the board, but not gonna be close enough yet to get the job done. Let's see what's going to be the half mile 47.19. All right, so that was a 23-second flat split there for Echo again. He is going fast. Confidence game looks really good in that position. If Echo again can't get the distance, confidence game's right there. Two Phils is moving up as well.
And I was 100% right. Not to worry about Bromley. He's done. We'll see. Can Echo again?
Here comes Instant Coffee. Now, can he sustain this? Because he's got a big momentum push coming here wide off the turn. Can he keep it going in the stretch? Confidence game already threw in the towel. Two Phils has got the lead. Will Instant Coffee catch Two Phils?
Yeah, he's got him easy. He's going to win by about 6, I would feel like, unless he really flattens.
Okay, there he goes. We almost had a situation like the Silverbulletday where the Cox horse got a little scared of a horse wearing out. All right, there you go. Instant Coffee gets the job done.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Nice effort. Very nice. I will say that is by far the best I thought Instant Coffee has looked in his career.
Well, shit.
Easily the best.
I would say so. Nothing went right for him again. Now, listen, a horse like this where nothing ever goes right with trips, that'll get you beat eventually. But he beat the pants off those horses despite all that. That was a long move, and he went wide again on the last turn. You're going to have to go wide when you're dead last. He just dominated this group. I mean, Echo again is barely. Oh, he may have actually got hurt. He looks like hurt there, but
they pulled him up.
Yeah, they all kind of quit, and he just kept on going. Instant coffee, man. That was nice. That was very, very, very nice.
Yeah, 2 fills, a good second there. Then we've got the confidence game of Denny. So 7-8-4-2 is your unofficial result across the wire there. Instant Coffee wasn't even the slowest horse out of the gate. He just kind of let everybody go. You know what? It got the job done here. We don't have to try and say how that'll work moving forward yet. I will say that the Kentucky Derby future wager just got interesting because Instant Coffee was trading up a lot higher. He's 25-1 right now, and I think come Sunday night, he's going to be a little lower than that even.
Boy, and he goes off at 6-5 in this spot where he was 3-5, 4-5 at times. So, I mean, that's not a terrible win bet on that horse if you thought he was going to dominate like we did, or at least like I did. That was a good effort. Like I said, his trip was brutal again, and he keeps winning. A lot of times you'll play these horses back off brutal trips after they've lost. He just keeps winning. But, listen, the horses that we thought, well, maybe that horse is decent, blah, blah, blah. None of them were very good. 2 fills ran great, I thought, but the rest of them, they weren't great.
No, and it is an early Kentucky, it's January. It's an early Kentucky Derby prep race. A lot of horses end up trying something, and it's early enough that they can give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, you haven't done anything to ruin the horse yet. So, boy, Bromley, everybody on Twitter who loved Bromley, not looking so good right now, but we were correct to play against him in this spot. Instant Coffee gets the job done. I noticed on the replay, it looked like he switched to his other lead. I didn't see when that happened, but a good effort from him. Very good effort. 145.12 is the final time. It's official now. So 7-8-4-2, a good finishing time. I forgot already what the finishing time was for the Louisiana Stakes. Do you remember that offhand?
No, I was pissed during that. So
they finished in one. He ran that 0.2 of a second faster than Happy American did. Happy American won.
I mean, that's good. That's what you want to see, and that's 2 weeks in a row because you had Verifying ran faster than Ginobili last week at Lecomte Park. That was just an allowance, but still. And now this year, or in this time. Bam, another 3-year-old running faster than older horses. So that's a very good sign. Congratulations to Vicky. She hit the pick four for a $25 pick four. I'm looking to see what this paid. For $1, it paid $126.80. She had it 25 times.
Dinner on Vicky tonight. All right, we're going to Jeff Ruby. Where's the nearest Jeff Ruby Steakhouse, Vicky? That's where we're going to meet you at.
That's fantastic. Great. Congratulations, Vicky. That's fantastic. Pick 5, going to pay about $1,200 for 50 cents, it looks like.
And you and I both went 4 for 5.
Sure did.
As stupid as Happy American screwed us up, buddy. That's all right.
Yep. Oh, well.
Actually, you know what? No, he didn't screw us up. Zozo screwed it up. We were really confident in Zozos, and that really didn't work out in our favor.
Correct. Do the math. That's not bad.
Well, DJB says Echo again will be the next Jackie's Row. I hope he's okay. I didn't notice it until the replay there when you said something, Aaron, that he was pulled up, but we'll find out in a little bit later what status is for him. But hey, Instant Coffee gets the job done. Who has him in the Racing Dudes Triple Crown Fantasy League? Geist
has him. So Geist gets the 20 points for that one. He hadn't had a runner yet, and then his first runner is a winner, so he's now tied for first. Geist gets the 20 points there.
Geist, by the way, is he's a little too busy to be paying attention. He's in Hawaii right now, so Geist, when you come back from your vacation or your work trip in Hawaii, let us know how that went, and then congratulations, you got Instant Coffee. The one horse that he owns that isn't a turf sprinter or a Japanese horse, I believe, in the Triple Crown Fantasy League.
True. Jared's here.
Let's go. How about that win?
For Instant Coffee, it was pretty impressive.
What'd I miss?
It was.
What'd I miss? All I know is Chop Chop still can't win. Zozos, I don't know what happened to Zozos. I haven't seen that, but I don't know how that horse lost. Didn't even hit the top 3. And then, I think Instant Coffee was good there. I was able to watch that. But more importantly, I mean, hopefully everybody saw what will go down as one of the most legendary performances in playoff history with Patrick Mahomes getting back to the 5th straight AFC. Get that off of here. Get that. Fifth straight AFC championship. So, hell of a win.
What was on there? I missed what was on there. What were you upset about?
I'm just being stupid.
Oh, I was like, what happened? That was huge. Yeah, I am shocked that he came back and played because that looked bad.
Yeah, and he you didn't see it because you were down here, but afterwards, I mean, he's on the field. They interviewed him. He's like, "I'm good." Like he's like, "Oh." It was the craziest thing. Like I didn't think we'd see him again really that game. Barely could walk, but just an unbelievable performance there. So defense played well too. So that was one of those games. Hey, lo and behold, Altman, what do we talk about? They didn't cover. So
they didn't cover. They should have covered, but they didn't. It was probably Mahomes. It's one of his best moments ever. I mean, if you haven't seen it, look it up. I would venture to say if it was the regular season, he would have missed 3-4 weeks. Like it looks bad. It looks bad. And he was in bad shape. He did not look good, but he just kept making plays.
He couldn't even hand the ball off. Like he was like limping to reach to hand the ball off. So yeah, it was obviously it kind of reminded me of that. What was that? 2 years ago, maybe the Bills game or the Browns game. When Henney had to come in and kind of seal that game. I mean, by the way, a 98-yard backed on your own 2-yard line, which, by the way, is the longest playoff drive, touchdown scoring drive in Chiefs history. And Chad Henne does it. I mean, where it seemed like everything was against them and really could have been the turning point of the game. And he leads them down 98 yards. I think Kelsey had 14 catches in the game. It was just they gutted their way through it.
It was pretty amazing to see that. We were on the air when that was going on, and you would flip back, and it's like, well, they're at the 20. Well, they're at the 40. And he just kept on, just kept on moving 3 or 4 yards at a time. Kelsey, and then Pacheco with a huge run. And listen, I kind of think it helped their offense if they decided, hey, you know what? Let's use Pacheco today.
And then it's like, but still, I can only, I guess they're just saving. Like towards the end of that game, he's out of the game. It's like, what do you on key plays where it's like, no, we got McKinnon. And I still can't quite figure out what they do with why they don't like to use Pacheco there. But regardless, that was one of those games. The moment he left the game, Mahomes, you're like, let's just survive. We got to survive this game somehow. I don't care if they win by 1. Get through this game, and thankfully they did. It was, let's just say, I've been drinking whiskey since about 4. Well, what I think it was like 4:01 is what time they said he got hurt. It's been since then. So, but I'm here. We can move on. We can see who they play tomorrow. But so, quick question: what the hell happened to Zozos? Did he get hurt?
No,
I think.
Man,
he got intimidated. He like the horses around him started to swarm him, and he just went, nope, I'm done.
Well, he set the perfect trip. He's setting behind a pretty slow pace. They turned for home, and I'm like, okay, kick on, and you're going to win by, 2-3 lengths. And he did not kick on. He stopped. So,
dang,
and no reason for him to stop. He tracked like a 50 half mile.
And dude, I turned on the Silverbulletday, and I was like, real quick, and I saw the top of the lane, and I thought, actually, no, I saw that before they got into the final turn. I was like, Chop Chop's sitting close. This is her race. She's gonna get it done finally. Even the whole turn into the stretch, I thought she's gonna win, and she just would not pass her stablemate. That was brutal. Gosh, and then I think Instant Coffee is. I mean, like we talk about on Blinkers Off, it's like who the hell knows with Brad Cox and which one is which, or which one's is like his top horse. I don't know that it was like a star performance, but the horse continues to do one thing, and that's win. So, got to give credit there. I thought that was a nice performance. And dude, you got Echo, like I know I heard maybe they got pulled up. Hopefully he's okay, but Echo again, that needs to be it. That game over for that horse on the Derby Trail.
Yeah. Yeah. That horse just is not good going 2 turns. And like I said, the way that looked, I don't know. We're going to see Echo again for a while. That looked bad. I couldn't tell which leg it was, but he was definitely favoring one. Got pulled up. I don't think he even crossed.
Oh, was it that bad? I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, it's another trip where, he's right there, but when a horse gets hurt, you don't really know. We don't know what happened basically. So, but yeah, listen, it was a huge race from Instant Coffee, I thought, and 2 fills ran okay as well. The rest of them, I don't really know what you're going to do with them moving forward. Hard to say. I mean, Confidence Game will probably be in another race. Magic, he didn't look too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad, and we can segue that into we'll get ourselves out of here. The Kentucky Derby Future Wager Pool number 3 is currently happening, and you can watch in real time. Instant Coffee's numbers just keep dropping. He's now 20-1. He was 25-1 when the race ended, and he's now 20-1. But we'll go through quick. Brad Cox with a lot of names. Angel of Empire not being touched. Arctic Arrogance banishing despite not racing today. Drops from 41. He's currently 33-1. Jared, State Confidence Game is now 69-1. Nice. Jared, your boy Corona Bolt is 35-1. We're going to see him next week in the Southwest Stakes, so that's a good one to look forward to. Cyclone Mischief for Dale Romans, taking a little bit of money. Extra Neho, I know some people in the chat were talking about, is 18-1. Echo again, 48-1. Unfortunately, you can't cancel your bet once it's been made, so that looks like, unfortunately, that's money lost. Forte started and ended pool number 2 at 10-1. He started this at 10-1, and he's 7-1. So taking some money there. Remember, Instant Coffee was a nose away from finishing 3rd to him in the Breeders' Futurity. So we still haven't seen Forte back yet, but he's looking. People loving the fact that Instant Coffee has come back to do well. He's now 20-1. Kings Barnes, this is a huge mover. We saw him win at Gulfstream Park last weekend. He is now 27-1 there for Pletcher. Jace's Road will face Corona Bolt in the Southwest Stakes, it sounds like, at Oakland Park. A couple of Brad Cox horses there, but people liking Corona Bolt a little bit. And then moving down, another horse for the Southwest. It sounds like Some Thunder's going to head there as well. Tap It Roller Skates. Don't touch that horse. He's 80-1. And all Bob Baffert horses and anybody else who's not named here is the 3-1 favorite. But I'm surprised that we're seeing 3-1. Aaron, I'll go with you first. When you look through this list, I know you don't like to play the future wagers, but does anybody stand out to you?
No, not really. To me, it's pretty simple. Forte, Cave Rock, they were clear 1-2s as 2-year-olds. Now that Loggins is, I've kind of just thrown him out. If he comes back, he's in the mix as well, obviously. But right now, and Instant Coffee keeps winning, and that only makes Forte and Cave Rock and Loggins, if you wanted to count him, better. I mean, the rest of these are going to have to prove they can jump up to their level. They seem ahead of everybody else. Like I said, I wouldn't play this anyway. But I think the horse that's maybe the up and comer, maybe the ones to kind of look at would be like a Corona Bolt. I think he's one that's interesting. Faustin would be the one on that all other 3-1 that would be interesting to me. Verifying, those seem like the ones that could jump up. We just haven't seen anybody run up to that level of those horses I just mentioned.
Jared, what about you? I know Corona Bolt at 36-1. We just saw Brad Cox and Bolt Dioro horse do really well. Yeah. Corona Bolt next week in the Southwest. Do you like him here?
Well, I mean, I hate playing it this early on for sure as well, but it's just, I do think from a value perspective, the 2 horses that I'd be interested in, especially is Corona Bolt, one of them, because while we still haven't quite seen that super performance we've seen a lot of good Brad Cox performances, but we haven't seen like that one where it gets you like super jacked up about the horse. Now, if he goes and dominates the Southwest, which is next week, then that 36-1 looks like a steal, right? Because he becomes one of the top choices of the Derby at this juncture. And while I do agree with Michael a little bit on the 18-1, I'm guessing he's talking about Extra Neho. I believe there is value there if you're just throwing money out. I mean, if it's money that you just want to just play with, because if he is the talent of what a lot of people believe 18-1 is a bargain, but he still has a ton. I mean, not only does he have a ton to do, he's only raced once. He's hurt. I mean, he's trying to get back on the trail. But if this horse were to go and kind of get back on track and win a big race, he could be the Derby favorite. It wouldn't be out of question, and you're getting 18-1. But again, I would be very, very careful on that one. I hate playing it in in January. It's impossible.
All right. Final thoughts, and then we'll get. Have we seen the Kentucky Derby winner race this month? Have we seen that horse yet?
No.
I agree. Cave Rock is still waiting. We'll see him in the Rebel Stakes. So that's your Kentucky Derby winner.
There's like a list of 10 horses. I think you could list there that we haven't seen that I would pick over the horses we have.
Thanks so much for coming on, Jared. Appreciate you showing up. I know. Congratulations on the Chiefs. We were keeping close tabs on that throughout. I'm glad. Even though they didn't cover, we don't care. All that matters to you as a Chiefs fan, a 5th straight AFC Championship appearance. So congrats to you and the Chiefs. Aaron, thanks for hanging out with me for a couple of hours. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You've been great. We'll be back. Remember, next week we've got the Pegasus World Cup card at Gulfstream, guaranteed to be more exciting because they actually have a turf course. So we'll be back then. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at @racing_dudes and go to racingdudes.com for free picks for every race, every track across the country. Let's get out of here, guys. I got more margaritas to go drink. Jared's got more whiskey, and Aaron just needs a break from me for a while.
That's right.
See you guys next week.